broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing after shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Get up, get on the floor. My world is with my girls. Living on the dance floor. Living on the dance floor. My world is with my girls. Living on the dance floor. Get up, get on the floor. Living on the dance floor.
Hey guys, welcome to this week's reclap of Dance Moms. It's season 5, episode 7, I think. Wild Wild West Coast Part 1.
And wild it was.
There's more coming.
Yeah, this is only the first half of the drama. So thank you for tuning in this week, and always make sure to subscribe and follow us on YouTube, iTunes, and SoundCloud. We love hearing from you guys. We all love hearing your comments and reading them down below after the show. So thank you always. I'm your host, Lexie Hammesfahr, and with me are the lovely ladies.
Hey everyone, I'm Candice Camacho.
Hello there, my name is Christy Olson. And hit that thumbs up button right now, please. Thumbs up, thumbs up.
Subscribe.
We appreciate it.
All right, okay, so this week, I guess part 1 was pretty much focused around a music video production.
Yeah.
And the rehearsal.
I was surprised. I thought that they were going to be in LA longer. I mean, I guess I assumed wrong. I thought.
Well, we'll see how long they stretch it out.
Right, you
as
never.
far as episodes
I know
go.
you never know, but I
Yeah.
thought that they were there to, help build her studio.
Yeah, but it's not. It's Third Street Dance, which ironically is like 5 feet from where I live.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Insider
That is
tidbit.
cool.
I know.
I like that. Well, I love that this episode did focus on them actually dancing and trying to do the industry stuff and not just the moms being dramatic with each other. So that was really
I like that.
refreshing, and I love this episode.
Well, and it really showed that they are prepared at the end of the day for, casting calls and auditions and things like that, because they came in and they were trained to be,
They
triple
all
threat.
rocked
Yeah,
it.
they
Yes.
did.
Yeah, thanks to Abby's training. Let's not forget.
Right. They were confident. They, it's hard to improv like that sometimes in front of your peers, in front of a panel of people who are just staring at you.
Exactly, for sure. Okay, so Maddie isn't here this week because she's filming Austin and Ally, which is a Disney show. I'm
Lucky
sure
girl.
all of you watch it. So they need a sub to fill in for her. They need some swings. And she brings in Sarah, who was on the select team last season, and Bryn, who is also from Kalani's studio in Arizona.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which-
2 substitutes.
Right.
Yeah, it takes 2 girls to fill Maddie's shoes, apparently.
I thought that was interesting.
I
Not
did
surprised.
too. I was like 2 of them. And I thought it was interesting let's just see if these are going to be my, new couple permanent girls, and maybe I'll take them. And it's like,
Right.
Well, I thought they were both fantastic.
they are,
Yeah.
yeah.
And Kira, right off the bat, was not amused that those girls were the ones that were brought in, because they have drama
Yes.
back at their studio.
Lots of drama.
Lots of drama. They do not get along well. So that was not good. But the pyramid.
Yay!
Yay. Mia was the last one on the bottom because she didn't perform.
Okay, yeah.
JoJo, I thought it was interesting how she described JoJo, that she was like 5th in competition, so she's 5th in the pyramid, and sometimes she acts like a 5-year-old.
That was a pretty good zinger, I thought.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a put down, and you shouldn't. That's disgusting what she said to her.
Oh, did you think it was that bad?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I was kind of like, yeah, girl, that's right.
I was glad that Jess stood up for the fact that she wasn't going to show JoJo Carrie. She was like, that's so inappropriate.
She did.
She doesn't need to see that.
Well, the way she was making a big deal out of it last week, I kind of forgot that JoJo was 11 years old. I feel like at that age, I thought scary movies were really cool, and I was really into it.
Yeah.
And I was kind of like, oh, that's right, she's 11. Maybe I would have shown it to her. I don't know.
Well, I got really upset last week's episode that they were going to show that to the little girl, and I felt for Jez and JoJo in that little piece. Like, I kind of like fell in love with JoJo a little bit more, because up until now, her character's like been annoying me a little bit. But once, like, through the events, I just was like, oh wow, like, it's kind of cool that she was standing up for herself and that she did well up, and then she left. And
Exactly. I did think it was very good that JoJo spoke up and said, that if Abby yells at her, she's going to cry. But at the same time, all those girls get yelled at all the time, and they keep their composure
never cry.
during the pyramid.
And they never talk back either. I think that was the distinction here, was that JoJo spoke her piece, and I thought it was a little bit much. I wasn't really feeling it the way that you guys were. But that's what bothered Abby, is, the other girls don't do that. The moms made that point, and they were very right.
Yeah. But at least she did it respectfully. I thought that the way JoJo said it to her, at least, was kind of respectful. It could have been a lot worse. She could have been in hysterics, but she kept herself together.
yeah, she wasn't hateful. She just said, you're yelling at me, so if you yell at me, I'm gonna cry. And no, you shouldn't talk back to any adult.
Right.
But then no adult should be screaming at a kid anyway. So I thought, in the past instances, I was like, JoJo needs to calm down a little bit. But in this instance, I was like, you go, girl. Don't let that woman run over you.
Really? Wow, I was feeling really differently. So do you think when they left the studio room and went and had their own little conversation, that really crossed a line for me? Did you guys think that was too much?
I thought that JoJo was a little out of line when she said that Abby is a baby and she can't handle being talked back. I thought that was a little disrespectful, but she was saying it to her mom, and I think that in any situation, we would have probably said the same thing to our moms, because that's a closed environment, with the exception that there's a camera in her face for this.
Right.
For me, she overstepped the line. One, giving her that piece, the blood, thought it was blasphemy that she didn't watch the video. So at that point, it's just all rules are off. Say whatever, do whatever. I can see myself kind of doing what Jesselyn did with JoJo, and I don't know. It's kind of cool because they did stand up for themselves, and then she's like, I'm sorry, and then they got back in line. So,
what kind of stuck out to me about that is, like, JoJo and Jesselyn are like BFFs. They're that kind of mother and daughter,
right.
And they speak to each other in sort of the same way, and talked about Abby in the way, and Jesselyn really kind of cultivates that in JoJo. She wants her to be this sassy little girl. And I'm thinking that's all going to turn on her in about 3 years when JoJo hits 14, 15. Maybe Jesselyn's not going to think it's so cute anymore.
Well, I think the sassiness is definitely cute when you're younger, but if she were to do that to a high school teacher, she'd be in detention.
Right.
So I think that it just comes with the territory that they're in right now.
It does, yeah, and you're right. You wouldn't say that to a high school teacher, but hopefully the high school teacher wouldn't be throwing daggers at you and saying that you're a immature 5-year-old, whatever she said. Fifth grader, 5-year-old. Whatever.
Exactly. But JoJo, in the end, decides to apologize, take the high road, which Abby even points out and is like, hey, good job for taking the high road. But here's the thing. So before we get to that, Matty and Kalani were in the middle row.
Yeah, surprise, surprise. Matty wasn't on top.
I know. And then Kendall was on top.
Yes.
And I was
Yay,
sad
Kendall!
that she didn't get the kudos from Abby because JoJo interrupted her.
Yeah, the feedback. I really wanted to know. Abby was about to say something happened, and I know she was going to say, like, something really clicked in you, and, this is one of your greatest performances, or there really could have been a lot of things that ways she was going with that. But yeah, I really wanted to hear it too. Yeah. And the producers sent them in right at that, all right, go, right at that time to interrupt.
That would have been neat to hear, you've grown as a dancer, something like that.
Right. So this week, because it's their last week in LA, is about the most famous feuds, since they've been feuding so much on the show. And it was, I don't know, I thought that the pairings were really weird. Kalani and why did I write Sonia? Kalani and Sarah were Nancy and Tanya.
Yeah.
Nancy Kerrigan and Tanya Harding. and Mackenzie was Lucy, and JoJo was Ethel in the Lucy and Ethel feud, which didn't really seem like it was a feud. That's not a feud.
No. They were more like friendly, kind of.
They were best friends, but there were a few episodes where they kind of turned on each other with all their little tricks. You know, it ended up backfiring, and then it went wrong. So I sort of got that. Like when the girls bumped into each other kind of from behind and were like, whoa, like that's very Lucy and Ethel, like just kind of bumbling physical comedy. I thought it was cute.
I think we have a chat roll question, actually.
We do, guys. Hello.
Hi.
Hey.
So Sheila asked, "Hey, AfterBuzzers, do you guys think JoJo will be alive after Abby sees that clip?"
Sheila, that's a great question. Shout out to you. Love you, Sheila.
Hi.
Yeah.
Hey.
That is a good one. I'm
Yeah.
thinking if she hasn't already gotten the axe, that might be the nail in her coffin. You might be right about that.
I feel like Abby might have to approve these episodes, though, before they air.
Yeah.
You think she's
So-
seen it already?
Yeah, I feel like in her...
Nobody gets to approve before things air in reality TV.
Really?
You know
She doesn't
Kris
get to
Jenner
sign
approves the
off.
Kardashian.
Kim's got to approve her
maybe.
episodes. But I
I'd be
personally
surprised if
think,
Abby Lee Miller gets that distinction.
Yeah. I don't, she
Maybe.
probably doesn't have that power, but I think
Right.
Abby would be fine with the clip.
You think so?
I do. I'm like going out in left field with this show, crazy, I know, but
I think that if she's seeing it in real time, by the time she saw this, that was filmed, however many months ago? What's
Right,
the
she's
point in
over it.
rehashing old stuff?
Yeah.
Maybe if she was having an off day, she would, lash out at JoJo for it, but...
I think she keeps a memory file of all that kind of stuff, and she does have control over, I think, which dancers come back. Now we've
Yeah.
seen some return from the select team and from some of her other shows, and so she's keeping that all right up here when casting time comes around.
Right.
And let's not forget that this all incited a big lecture from Abby about entitlement, and I thought that was really interesting. She was like, "You deserve nothing." And that kind of seemed to be a theme throughout the episode. All the moms kept talking about, well, our girls should get these opportunities. They're on the team. They deserve it, deserve. And it's like, no, Abby decides who gets the solos. Abby decides whom and how many are in the group dance. It was kind of a weird way that the cards came down this week with the 2 duets and the 2 group dances. But Abby is making those decisions, and you don't want to tick her off.
I don't know. I just think it was really weird that Kendall and Nia didn't get in the duets this week. I think it was very weird that the girl on the top of the pyramid was not rewarded in the last week in LA, and especially that Nia, I mean, maybe she was being punished kind of for last week what happened, but I still think it was weird that she hasn't gotten anything.
But Abby
in
usually
LA.
does when she brings these new girls in. She usually gives them a chance, gives them a solo or a spotlight in some way, and I think it's sort of a test. She knows what Kendall and Nia can do. Then they rocked it last week, besides Nia. You know what I mean? But Nia's rocked it in the past several times. So she kind of knows already. So she brought these new girls in, and she's not going to keep them around for more than 1 week if she doesn't like what they do. So she wants to see what they can do and then either say bye-bye or welcome to the team.
right. I didn't think it was fair. I didn't think it was fair either. Kendall should have gotten something, and so should Nia. They both should have. And then I felt like Kendall's confidence kind of went down through the episode too.
And I just think,
That was
why not
visible.
wait to bring those girls back for competitions when they're back based in Philadelphia? She could have left. If Abby is truly, they're all of their managers, which, for the record, she's not. She's not. If you look on IMDb Pro, she's listed as Maddie's manager with Rachel Rothman, who does, I worked with her when Nia and Holly were on the show.
Okay.
And she does Mackenzie, but she's not even listed as Mackenzie's manager.
Huh.
That's interesting. She's, oh no, not Mackenzie's music producer. She is Kendall's music producer, I believe. That's interesting.
So I don't know. I just think that
It's all for show.
I know, but if she's gonna bring them all out, she should at least
Own up.
give them one time to have a solo or a duet.
Yeah. I couldn't agree more. Definitely.
Okay.
Yeah, now I'm kind of questioning this. Why bring these other 2 girls in when they're doing the LA thing and stuff? I hadn't really thought about it that way, ladies.
Well, it's just another shot in the foot to the other girls. It kind of would
Yeah.
make me wilt a little bit and be like, okay, well, I keep trying and trying. I'm all the way out here. Like, what the heck?
I agree.
Yeah.
So the group routines were, again, I thought weird, but No Laughing Matter, which was based off of clowns. And it was Bryn, Kalani, Mackenzie, and Sarah. and then Moulin Rouge, but it was the pop-based
yeah.
Moulin Rouge.
It was like the
Which they obviously couldn't license, so we never heard or actually
Yeah,
saw
of
them
course.
dancing to that.
Right, that was really weird. I was like, okay. I couldn't even tell what the dance was like gonna be like.
Right.
Yeah. But Kendall, Nia, JoJo, and again, Mackenzie were in that. Why is Mackenzie getting so many dances this week?
That's what I
Yeah,
wonder.
she's in
all
like 3. That's a lot for a little girl.
yeah.
It's a lot of stuff to do.
A lot of choreography. And Abby even kind of said at the beginning of the episode, like, this is going to be an intense week, you know, and then goes and gives the biggest role to, like, the smallest child.
Right. And because she has 4 performances in this competition, which will air next week, she brings in the guest choreographer.
Yeah.
And Jill's mad.
Yeah, Jill was really mad because their girls don't work as well with a guest.
Right. And she feels like Abby is dedicating all of her time to the guest stars, which she is.
She is? Yeah.
Again, I think it's that she wants to see what these little girls can do with her time, with her teaching. You know, she has a very unique way of teaching technique and stuff, and it's worked very well for the girls she has. And I think she's wondering if I give these girls an hour with me, can they do the same thing as my girls?
I think she's just being a jerk again. And I think they have a meeting with each of the moms before the episode starts and is like, okay, you're the one today that's going to be
Talk the most.
Yeah, more hateful. All right, this is your week. You're pushy. It's just like, you know,
Yeah.
every time it's a different mom. And Jill is like, you know, working it in that blue shirt. And
She looked great.
And
She
the
did.
bangs and, you know, she's getting her airtime. Mm-hmm. So.
Yeah, I mean, I just think that for how much Abby has been gone during this whole first part of the season in LA, she should have dedicated her last competition in LA to the girls.
She
to
should
the
have.
ALDC girls.
Yes. But we all know Miss Abby should be doing a lot of things.
I just don't know that feeling that, like, we deserve it, we're the team, we're this and that. Like, that's not how it works in Hollywood. And that's exactly what
not.
Abby was saying about entitlement. Like, if you walk into an audition, like, I was the first in line, so I should get this. You know
Right.
what I mean? Like, that's just not quite how it works.
It's not how it works, but they're doing a competition, which isn't really Hollywood yet, but it's like, for goodness sake, like, throw them a bone or something, or half a brownie, or just give them like a little bit of some positivity, you know, like they're just little kids, and it's not a big crazy record deal. It's just another dance competition.
Right. So, and all the moms are even talking about, Jill and Holly specifically, how annoyed they've been since they, got off the plane, and it's been nothing but competitiveness and temper tantrums and drama since they got there. And Jill kind of asks Ashley and Tracy what the deal is with them and Kira.
Well,
Yeah, she put them on the spot.
the instigator. So what's up? Like, I just am like sensing that you two don't groove together. You
I
don't
think
get
she
along.
was concerned that they would all team up together. I mean,
I think she just
if
wanted
they all
to
liked each
stir.
other, that would be 3 moms against the other original ones, which is there 3 or 4 of them.
Yeah.
So it would be, I think she was afraid that there was like a mutiny going down. You know what I mean? And one thing that I thought was super interesting about that is Kalani, when they first brought those other 2 girls in, Kalani was happy to see them. She smiled and was like, hey, like as if my friends are here.
I think
totally different
Sarah
situation with
is
the moms.
one of her best friends, because I was reading through some tweets earlier today, and Addie, which is Kalani's best friend, was tweeting or something, and Sarah was tagged, and they were like, I miss my best friends, Kalani and Sarah.
Oh, okay.
So they're that tight, and
Yeah.
Kira and Tracy.
Aren't.
Yeah.
That's gonna be hard for the
Wow.
kids. And
I've been best friends with girls, and my mom has hated the other mom before. Sorry, Mom. Yeah, it happens.
no, if my girlfriend didn't like my mom, then she wasn't my girlfriend.
Wow.
My mom is my best friend still.
Oh,
I know.
that.
I know.
I feel like that's how you and your daughter are going to be, though, too.
You never know. She might hate me.
Okay, so in the middle of the rehearsal, Abby gets a call from MattyB's dad / manager dad.
Oh my God, MattyB. OMG.
Oh my god, he's so cute. Did you see? Like,
He was cute. He reminds me of Bieber when he first got discovered.
Yeah, when he was clean cut.
Yeah, like that little innocent kid before he.
Yeah.
Hopefully, MattyB stays on the straight and narrow path. though.
Right? And yeah, because his music's got a little bit of edge. You know, he's like a little
it was
rapper
cute.
boy. Yeah.
He's like
cute.
poppy and whatever, but he has over 3.4 million subscribers on YouTube. I mean, this kid is huge for that demographic.
yeah.
And basically, he wants the ALDC girls to come in and audition and be in his movie or his music video.
And Abby wants to hook him up with one of her girls.
I thought it
You
was-
saw those wheels turning
Yeah.
right away. She was like,
Yeah.
romance, tabloids, storyline. Are you single? Like, let's do this.
And he was so like uncomfortable. He was like, no, I don't have a girlfriend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought
Yeah,
it was
listen,
funny
if you're gonna
though.
be famous, get used to getting asked that question.
Right, but Kendall was like, I think he's so cute, but he's shorter, so I don't know how well that's going to work out for me.
That was hilarious.
I said that a lot growing up. Mm-hmm. I'm like, I really like him, but man, he's too short.
Yeah.
It happened a lot.
I know. I thought that was a really cute moment when she said that.
Does anybody think Kendall is wearing too much makeup for just not when she's competing, but just like in the studio and stuff?
I always think she looks so pretty.
She is so pretty, but
She does wear a lot. I mean, I am the last person to be telling anyone that they're wearing too much makeup, so I better bow out of that part of the conversation.
okay.
I don't know. I
You
think
guys are wearing just the perfect amount, so you can discuss this.
I started playing with makeup when I was young because I loved it, but I think that she looks, age appropriate. It's not
Okay.
like she's smearing black eyeshadow on her eyes or anything like that. So
Never mind. I wasn't saying anything bad. I just think she's a beautiful girl, and I would
She
like
is
for her more
gorgeous.
natural beauty to shine through.
I've noticed that over the seasons they've all started wearing more and more makeup, and I personally, if I was in their position, I think I would put on makeup too because I'm going to be on camera and
Yeah.
on
No, I don't. Okay, sorry. I just was talking about the black eyeliner, and I know how I have it on, but I'm a grown woman.
You look good, girl. You're not a child. That's fine.
Okay, so Mackenzie, Abby comes out and talks to the mom, and she's basically like, well, I don't want Mackenzie to be in this if she's not going to have a
Top billing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
top billing.
Which makes
top
total
credit.
sense.
Right.
Yeah.
And Jill is basically saying to Abby that she should give one of the other girls a chance.
Which I was like, oh, go for it. Just go for it.
I know, Jill's like
just
shameless.
She's
this
not letting
episode.
anything go this
Well,
week.
just
Yeah.
go ahead and like put one of the other girls in that don't have a record deal that are looking for a record deal.
Yeah.
Just like a sane person would.
Right. And Abby's like, shut up.
Were you guys surprised by Abby's reaction to that?
No.
No, I mean, I was kind of not with Abby on that. I wouldn't have told Jill to shut up. But I mean, again, that was that like entitlement thing. Like, well, Mackenzie shouldn't do it, so one of our girls should get to do it. It's like, no, Mackenzie should do it and get the top billing and be,
Yeah.
MattyB featuring Max Z. And if that's not how it's going to be, then it's going to be weird.
Right. Jill isn't in charge, but I just thought it was funny. I think I wrote LOL on that.
Yeah.
Although I would love to see Kendall get the lead. And
Oh, definitely.
Oh,
yeah.
for sure.
I would-
fantastic.
I agree with her. Like, if Mackenzie can't be in it, then one of the other girls should have
Absolutely.
the opportunity. It just was like funny, like,
Well, I'm sure you all watched the video. We did too. We all know what happened. So, YouTube it.
So the next day, they're in the Moulin Rouge rehearsal, and there's a few parts in this that I want to talk about because I noticed some editing stuff. Jill says in particular that Abby is taking care of the number she wants to take care of first. The thing is, though, is that she starts that sentence by saying Abby is, and that was a voiceover. Did you guys? I listened to it a few
I catch that
times.
stuff all the time. Yeah.
Yeah, but
It's
you could
terrible.
tell that it was a different volume level. It was there, there was no background noise, stuff like that. So you could tell that was spliced together.
Didn't catch that.
And then also, she says Kendall and Nia, who are always shoved to the curb while this acro sad clown is set, and while those were spliced together also.
Our audience knows all about Frankenbites from last week.
Right.
Yeah.
We're schooling you guys good.
No, well, it wasn't Frankenbites. It was when they were talking, but when they spliced it together, they were showing Holly's reaction over Jill's.
her saying it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they also said, and the Moulin Rouge dances from a choreographer that doesn't teach our kids, and the Moulin was spliced together. So just so you know, it goes to show
gotta
that there's a
turn
lot of
it all
editing in
back.
this.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah. So you can go back
Good
and
stuff.
listen to that. But Jill asked Melissa about the singing. And Melissa was like, well, I think it'll be fun, but I think it's like going backwards in her career. And Holly was like, really? Because he has like 1 billion views. And then Melissa changes her mind.
Exactly.
Which that does change the entire situation.
Exactly.
You know, if he goes from being a D-lister in her mind to an A-lister, of course you want your daughter to have that opportunity.
But
then.
everybody has, you know, Safari, YouTube on their phone. You need to be Googling that when, you know, at the first phone call. Melissa needs to be a little
That's
bit
true.
more
Right.
schooled and have, like, a little bit more information. She showed us that later on in the episode, too. So she needs to kind of, like, you know, school herself a little bit more because she shouldn't have made that mistake.
Agreed. Yeah, she's not very savvy for like having this huge superstar as a daughter now. I
Right.
mean, you think she'd be learning these things?
Yeah, she needs to get her apps straight. You know, she needs her YouTube apps like on the front of her phone.
Right. No, I totally agree. But at the same time, like, do you think that Melissa's response was appropriate to Jill when she was like, I don't care if you guys are going to slam me. Like, I'm changing my mind on this. And now I want
she even
Mackenzie.
swore, I believe, didn't she?
She did in the
Yeah, she did.
She said, but
That's
there was
not
a blank
cool.
out there.
No, it was not cool.
Yeah, I think she, out of all the moms, she's the least confrontational mom, and I think she just she just can't she just doesn't want to go there. So I think that's kind of like her stopper.
Yeah, and she probably just wants to be happy for her girls and be excited and sit there and be like, oh my gosh, my daughter is shooting a Disney show right now. My other daughter's got the most roles in this dance. And she just wants to sit and be happy because she's happy about it.
And any mom in that
And the other
situation.
moms just want to tear it up.
But she
Right.
probably felt a little bit silly for not knowing that that's a big thing that your daughter's up for that you don't know. So she probably she probably felt like a little silly. So that's why she was like, psh.
Yeah, and this was the next day, right? So they would have had time to do some research.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is true.
And speaking about Mackenzie and JoJo's rehearsal, and Abby made that comment about how it's to show also the rival between the two girls. I thought that was kind of weird because they're two totally different performers. It's like comparing Matty and Mackenzie.
Yeah, it's kind of a whole different ball of wax.
Yeah, but
really.
once they got in the audition, they were the two that were up against each other. They did go head to head, so she obviously saw something there.
I don't
you know?
know. Yeah, she obviously did see something. That's why she said that. But before this, I didn't really see a rivalry between them.
I didn't either.
Well, Abby's gonna create one, everybody.
So the next day, the casting director comes in, Marshall Manning, and Blake, who's MattyB's dad.
/ manager.
Yeah, /manager.
Dadager.
I was about to say, what's that called at that point?
Dadager?
Dadager.
Yeah.
And they announced that there's going to be one person who is both the lead girl and does vocals on the track. So not only are they auditioning to dance, but they're auditioning to sing also.
And we finally get to hear them all sing a cappella. I've been dying for this.
I know.
You know, after even the talk last week, Nia's the best singer. It was like, I want to hear him. When Nia recorded her song last week, we only saw her singing along with the backing track.
Right.
And you couldn't really hear her real voice.
Yeah.
So I've been dying to know who's got the real vocals up in here, and we finally got to see it.
Exactly. And Eric Seraptin is doing the choreography for the music video. So I thought it was very good. It was smart of JoJo to volunteer to go first.
She always does.
Of course she
She
I
did
was
last
throwing
time,
up,
too.
JoJo, let someone else go, and like maybe they won't do it correctly, and you'll be able to learn from that. And you know, that's just exactly the problem that Abby has with her. Is like it's too gung ho. It's like take a step back, take it all in, see what everybody else does. You know, you're not even on the team. Like it could have benefited her to maybe hold back for a second and let someone else go first.
But you know what? Growing up, I was always told to, put the first foot forward and take that step and volunteer first because it shows that you're ready to go and you're not scared and, you're going to step into the light and you're going to be fine.
Yeah.
I think they all should have been going, no, me
Exactly.
first.
That's my point. Yeah.
That is true.
You should show an aggression, but I always tended to go last, so I would be like the most fresh in the producer's mind or the coach's mind.
Strategy.
Yeah. We all have our little strategies.
Yeah. And then I could try to do something different than all those other girls did.
Which we learned last week is the right thing to do.
Yeah, so this time I wore my honky tonk shirt. No. That sounded really hick, but I am from Missouri, so I guess I'm off the hook.
I love it, y'all.
Any country fans out there, y'all?
Me. Okay, so they made a lot of comments about the dancers that I thought were interesting, and they were good takeaway points for anyone who ever is going to be auditioning.
Yeah.
He said that Brenna looks down a lot.
Yeah.
Kendall,
Which is true.
It was true. And Kendall was one of the stronger ones. Kalani, she was a pinup girl, basically was what he was saying, and that there was a lot of confidence. Nia, I thought it was funny that he asked about the death drop.
Yeah.
Well, the way they cut it or showed it, it did
It looked awkward.
Yeah, it looked like it was. Well, you couldn't tell what it was.
And he had said he doesn't want to see their tricks.
Right.
You know.
Chat roll question.
Hey.
Hi.
What do you wanna know, guys?
Alexia Wilson, excuse me, says, "Hey, AfterBuzzers, who did you think got the role before they announced it?"
Ooh, good question.
Ooh, that is a good question.
I thought Mackenzie was going to get the lead role.
I thought I thought Kalani was, because JoJo's voice wasn't strong enough.
Right.
Yes. Yeah, I was kind of thinking maybe JoJo, but then thinking that they would do what they talked about with Kalani and having it be like an older girl, cutesy crush kind of a thing.
Yeah.
I thought that would have worked really well.
I thought in the end, Kalani looked fantastic in her audition. And in fact, whenever the camera's on her, sometimes I'm like, just stay on her face because she's just so gorgeous. But I feel like in the end, I knew that they were going to pick somebody more his size. And
Which is Mackenzie.
yeah. And I didn't think Kalani's vocals were as strong as Mackenzie's either. So that's
That
why I
is
picked
true.
Mackenzie.
Yeah.
So thank
Great
you.
question, though.
Yeah, I like that one.
Okay, so going back to that, though, Sarah, they said that she had an older, more mature vibe. And then Mackenzie was doing all the tricks. Mm-hmm. And they were like, she's doing everything we told her not to do.
Yeah.
And that's a big mistake in an audition. You know, you got to show you can follow directions.
That's right. Yeah. She didn't have as much confidence as I would have thought. Mackenzie, yeah. She stepped it up as the audition went on because she caught on that they were, really considering JoJo too. So I saw that like build.
Well, and they kind of pointed that out when they brought MattyB out to test her with him. They were like, well, she's not showing a lot of confidence.
or something. I'm assuming like an older brother.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He was like
a
a-
lot bigger.
At that point.
He was like a stand-in guy.
He's probably a
guy.
brotherager.
Yeah. Well, either way, he's
He's
getting.
MattyB's assistant.
Either way, he's getting paid.
Exactly. Yeah. But overall, I mean, they obviously really liked Mackenzie from the get-go. I don't know. I personally think that the contract stuff should have brought up before the audition even happened.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. That's all Abby's fault.
Well, and what I didn't understand is, so they go and shoot this video. You have the vocals before you have the video. That's the point. You lip sync along with the vocals that you've already recorded. So when did that recording happen? And after the video?
Yeah.
What's the, it all
That
seemed
didn't make
very odd to
sense.
me.
No.
So either maybe it was a very small vocal part, and we ended up not hearing anybody on there. Spoiler
Well, we
alert.
didn't end up hearing it because Mackenzie was pulled from the video.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's-
the video's up now,
oh.
and we know, we know what happened now.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we know y'all watch that video because it has almost 1 million views already. It's only been up for a few days.
Okay, so we get to the day of the shoot, and Matty is there. Personally, I think that they shouldn't have ambushed the rest of the girls by bringing Matty in full makeup. Clearly, that was set up ahead of time for her to have shown up.
Well, what was odd was that the video producer didn't know. And he was like kind of surprised, like, this could change everything.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe they would have done the older girl thing. I mean, Maddie is such a huge star. If she was going to be there, of course they were going to give her the lead role. You know what I mean? Like, he seemed kind of turned off by the fact that why wouldn't someone tell him that?
Yeah, he did. But I guess, things could have happened. She could have gotten cut from a scene earlier, or she could have, wrapped earlier. But
Yeah.
I
Give her
mean,
some time off, dude.
Well, I would have.
She's working hard,
Yeah.
Let all the other girls go do this, not because they deserve it, but because Maddie deserves a day off.
But I guess you
Would've
gotta
been my
strike while the
thing.
iron's hot.
I would have brought Maddie. I would have brought her even if she just, had to hang out the whole day, and then I would have brought her and full makeup, and then if she couldn't be in any parts, and we'd go for lunch or something. But I wouldn't just let her hang out at the seedy hotel or where
Well, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying.
not seedy hotel, but I mean I've been put up in other cities, and it's it's okay, but.
Yeah, it can be rough, yeah.
So there's 3 tiers to how these girls are getting parts.
Yeah, and I was irritated the way he kept saying tiers and...
Yeah, just call them group 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
Right?
It's just you don't need to separate it like that. We all know, the waitresses is more featured. That should be more money than the background, but they're all important, great opportunities.
Right. And they were all in the majority of...
The video.
the video. So the 3rd tier had Bryn, Kendall, and Sarah, which surprised me since they said that Kendall was one of the stronger ones.
But then they
And
went...
she was. And she did rock. I just want to say, I didn't get to say this before. She did rock that vocal audition.
She did.
Yeah. I thought she was the best one. But very narrowly, they were all great.
I thought her and Nia were the best, I think, in the vocal.
Yeah. I thought Mackenzie was the best.
And then the 2nd tier was the waitresses, Nia, Kalani, and JoJo. And the lead was going to Mackenzie. And also there was a part specifically written for JoJo because of her sass.
She finagled that part. Gotta give her that, I guess.
Yeah, you do.
She does. And if you look back on that music video, I mean, she has that star quality.
She does.
She knows how to work a camera for sure. And Abby wasn't there. She was an hour late. And so Melissa went ahead and signed the contract.
Yeah. So a couple things. Number one, above all, Abby should not have been late. This is a really big deal for the kids. No matter what. As the manager, as their dance coach. Yeah, and as their protector, because the moms don't know about the legality, and it is really important for them to get their credits and to get the money and residuals and how much money do I get off this many clicks or however it works. That was disgraceful for her to be late. Now,
I can only think that it must have been for a good reason.
No, there's no good reason.
They haven't been giving us any of the reasons.
This is a business venture, though. I mean, you can make an appointment with a lawyer for a phone call at a later time. I just think that she should have been there. It looked so unprofessional that she wasn't there.
Unless you're in the hospital, you should be there. That's my opinion. Number one. Number two, Melissa should not have signed anything. This is a big,
How does she not know that?
huge lesson for Melissa. Oh, I just signed it. Oh my God. All I know
agree.
is that she got the lead. Okay, sign my life away,
If there's one thing you can't do in Hollywood, it's sign contracts or anything aimlessly without reading every single detail.
Right, without your manager present.
Yeah, because
I can't believe she didn't know that. I can't get over it. I cannot get over that she did that. I cannot believe that she didn't know not to do that.
Yeah. I've gotten myself in big trouble. I signed a whole buyout once, but I didn't read that it was. I knew the bulk of it, but I didn't know it was going to be on buses and on billboards in California and all this stuff where I started seeing my face.
Wow.
So you do have to watch, and then I could have been getting more money for that. So,
and I do think that Melissa was definitely. She was just being naive, I think.
She didn't know, so in a way it's not her fault, but it is.
But at the same time, Abby should not have reacted the way she did and been giving her a stink eye and so dramatic about it. And then I don't know what the whole thing was about Holly saying, or Jill saying, are you questioning the girls being here now and all of that? Because obviously that was the end of the episode, but...
It seriously weirded me out to see Abby being mad at Melissa. That almost never happens, and that she walked by and gave her that stink eye. I mean, I just always think of when Abby was going through her situation with her mother, and that's when I kind of realized how close she and Melissa really are. Was through that situation, I'm like, wow, she actually really did give her the stink eye. I mean, that doesn't happen very often.
I feel like Melissa was frustrated a lot during this episode. Even the opening scene, I think, was on Melissa in the studio before the pyramid, and she looked just so irritated. So I don't know, maybe there was just something else going on behind the scenes because that just didn't seem like it was enough to set off that reaction. I mean, how was she supposed to know better if she's never done it before?
Well,
She should have researched.
That was
but-
a
Abby-
big mistake, though.
It
I
was
mean, it
a
could
huge
jeopardize Maxie's entire recording contract.
Yeah.
The record producer said she couldn't do the video.
It's a big deal. It's a really big deal because whatever credit she gets, that means like the next thing they could have to pay her more, and it just is a really big deal.
Absolutely.
And Abby has told her that before. Like, I'm the manager. I call all the shots. So she shouldn't have signed anything. But you know how it is when you're just in the heat of the moment and you're rushed and you're excited that she got the role
She got the lead.
So you get your adrenaline going. But it was a big mistake.
and Abby let her know it.
Yes. All right. Do you guys have anything else to say about the episode?
Just the lack of the continuity with the vocals thing. Like, I really did not understand if that was just a storyline that someone's going to do vocals then, because clearly they weren't going to, because vocals would have had to been recorded before they did the video.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah,
This is reads as very storyline-y to me.
The video was strange because they all show up with their makeup, and apparently
Perfect.
Apparently was just exactly what the producers wanted, and then they get their parts then, and they're all learning the song, and they should have already had it learned.
And Melissa, it's whirlwind, not whirlwind. Just FYI. FYI.
Okay, let's
Hate it
move
when
on
people
to
say
news
that.
and gossip.
AfterBuzz TV News.
So Maddie was named one of the top 25 best dressed at Fashion Week by New York Magazine. So congrats, Maddie.
Congrats.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
She looks like she's having a blast up there, doing correspondence for Elle magazine. She's been in a lot of fashion shows.
Yeah, good for her.
I know. And then Brooke is also going to be in New York for Fashion Week. And they're also all promoting their Australian tour right now. The girls are going to be
saw
traveling to
that.
Australia.
Yeah, very cool.
I saw, this was interesting to me, Sarah tweeted last night, she was like, as much as I love ALDC, there's no place like my home at Club Dance and my family.
Oh,
Interesting.
So I don't think, I feel like that was a nice way of saying I'm not going to be around for very long on the show.
Maybe she was getting sick of all the tweets, like maybe people were tweeting and wondering,
yeah.
Right.
you know, so did you make the team? That was
Yeah.
her way of like shutting it down, because I'm sure that doesn't feel good to have to say that.
Right. We have a chat roll question.
Oh, yay.
Yes. I'm trying to say this username correctly here. Ritster21 says, "Hey, AfterBuzzers, should Melissa have waited that 1 hour for Abby to arrive, and would MattyB have waited?"
Oh, so like what would have she done since Abby wasn't there? I think you can move forward without the contract signed. You know,
Yeah.
they could have started shooting, and I mean, that's not illegal.
Called
You know
her,
what I mean?
called Abby, texted her, tweeted her, Instagrammed her, saying you need to get down here.
Yeah. Say, I have this contract in front of me. What should I do?
I think that she knew what the overall circumstance was that she wanted Maddie to have top billing, or I mean Mackenzie to have top billing. So I think she should have brought that up to the producers and been like, I'm only signing it as long as I can see in the contract that this is what she's going to get at the end of the day. She should have been somewhat informed about the situation.
Well, that question kind of raises a good point. I wonder if MattyB's dadager kind of let this all happen. Like, yeah, we don't want to pay you. We don't want to feature this girl. You know,
Yeah.
we're doing this thing for this show, and maybe it was sort of an attempt to like snow Melissa and, you know, get her to just sign it, and it sounds like it's a crappy contract from what Abby was saying. So I don't think I don't think he would have waited, because he was maybe trying to do that.
Maybe. Okay, let's move on to predictions.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
So, we have the competition part next week.
Can't wait to see those dances in full.
Yeah,
I know,
The
I know.
costuming is going to be great.
I know. So, do you have any specific predictions?
Not so much for the competition. I predict that this music video shoot is going to continue to go downhill. I'm wondering what is, of course, Mackenzie and Maddie aren't in the video, so what the heck happens?
Yeah.
I'm wondering if they all storm off set together, or if Abby handles it. I kind of think that MattyB's dad is going to go head to head with Abby.
She's going to have to be very careful about how she starts to handle things out here, because
It's a
your
small
reputation
world.
speaks for yourself, and you know, it would be really bad if people didn't want to work with the girls because of how Abby handles things and how she
Yeah.
doesn't show up on time and stuff like that.
That's a big thing. So
Yeah.
I think the original team will probably go back to Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think Sarah's going to go back. I think she'll go back to Bryn
Yeah.
to Arizona.
Which they're in a good spot here anyway.
Right, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, girls, so where can we find you?
Go ahead.
Oh, everybody, please tweet me. I'm on all social media platforms at Christy Reports. I love to hear from you. Shout out to Sheila.
Yeah, as would I. You can follow me on Twitter at Candice_Camacho, or definitely subscribe to my YouTube channel at New Mom, New Wife, New Life.
Oh, I love that.
And you can find me on all social media at Lexie Hammesfahr. And real quick shout outs, thank you Asia Cheetah, Ari Manillo, Abner Diaz, and Joseph Boza in Life of Pi for always commenting. We love hearing your comments. You guys are great. Thank you so much. We'll see you next week for
Part
reclap. Woo! Bye guys.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.